Good afternoon, friends. Stephen Benoon here with Israeli News Live, and we did take and post finally got a video back up on Patreon covering several subjects on there for those of you that might want to check that out. Going a little bit into the Biden issue, Hunter as well, and the threat of war that we're facing. And also we go into a couple other things, including a little bit on Planet X, some of the things that we're tracking, some of the things that I found out about that I thought you might find interesting. So check out Patreon, Israeli News Live. You might find a lot of that information interesting there. I wanted to share with you this right here. A friend of mine over in Israel, an Israeli journalist, sent this to me. I've said a Russian foreign ministry spokesman sent a strong message to senior Israeli officials regarding the attacks attributed to Israel in Syria. The attacks are a matter of deep concern. And this is a very serious violation of Syrian sovereignty that could lead to an escalation in the region. We insist that Israel refrain from these actions. That's quote unquote coming from a Russian foreign ministry spokesperson there talking to the Israelis. And those of you that may not know, Israel was launching attacks from Lebanon into Damascus. In fact, I was hearing that there were some very unconventional types of weapons being used, which kind of made me wonder about the situation in Beirut that happened a little while back, where some people believe that was that it was actually like a tungsten rod that was used. I have been informed by friends that have connections to the Mossad that the situation happened in Beirut will be used again, and actually would be used on Russia if they didn't back out of the way when it comes to Syria. So there's a lot of things going on. In fact, another thing that was confirmed to me, and maybe I've already shared this with you guys already, is that the United States actually did make a secret deal with Turkey that if they would help us with any kind of battle that we might get involved in with Russia, that the United States would make sure that they have access to certain oil rights inside of Syria. So it's kind of interesting. Syria is a sovereign country, but yet the United States and Israel is already dividing up the spoils, and yet the country is not a defeated nation. That makes you wonder, right? New World Order spelt everywhere. So let's continue on reading here. Last week, an anti-aircraft missile was fired from Syria and set off alarms in the Al-Fam area, northern Samaria. And the IDF spokesman said that the missile exploded in the air and no interception systems were activated. Following the launch from Syria, the IDF attacked radar and anti-aircraft batteries of the Syrian army, and the Syrian army reported that one soldier was killed, 5 wounded in the attack. Now, that kind of raises a suspicion to me when I hear this, that the IDF spokesman said that the missile exploded in the air and no interception systems was activated. In other words, David Sling nor the Iron Dome did not detect this missile. So could it be that the Iranians have allowed Syria to use the cloaking technology that they got from China, which doesn't allow them to be able to see the missile whatsoever? They might see it launch, but they won't see it as it's going through the air and can't do anything about it until it actually is ready to hit its target. Don't know. Curious though. According to the Syrian army, anti-aircraft missiles were fired after they identified an attack. A Syrian statement said that at 0056, Israel carried out an airstrike from southern Beirut. A quarter of an hour later, at 1:10 a.m., Israel launched surface missiles from the Golan Heights at several positions in Damascus area. It was also reported that the Syrian air defense system intercepted the missiles and shot down some of them. During the attack attributed to Israel, the Russian army activated advanced electronic defense system from Latvia, which caused GPS disruptions in the area. The activity of the Russian army and the Kamimi air base in the port city of Latvia in Syria has led to the operation of advanced and powerful defense systems, which disrupt the electromagnetic waves in the eastern Mediterranean. So there's some very serious issues happening between Russia and Israel right now, and I've been told that this has everything to do with the situation in Ukraine also going on, and it is a buildup of tensions all across the region. Don't know what's going to happen next. I really don't. I do know that we have moved here in the United States from both out of Southern California as well as North Carolina, from our military bases there. We have been moving rapidly, tremendous number of airlifts into Europe. They have been landing in Britain. And for the most part, they're sending in all types of military equipment and preparing for a war. Actually preparing for a war. And again, I still have not had a chance to go look at the State Department's YouTube channel to see if they have actually announced officially that we are moving our embassy personnel out of Russia, out of Moscow. But that has been told to me that the State Department is moving out our embassy personnel, which sends a clear signal to the Russian government that that the Biden administration will go to war before they will concede to this scandal that is happening by the Biden administration, especially Hunter Biden, their son. And granted, Hunter Biden and Joe Biden and all their illegal activities that they're doing over in Ukraine and basically embezzling all this money out of Russia, there is definitely deeper pockets than just these two guys here. So just keep that in mind. I want you to be aware of that. So it's not just, that's not the only thing that is going on. I'm sure they're not the only two. And it is clearly they are preparing for this new world order. And I'm just concerned that this is going to go down a lot sooner than we think. Unless, check out Patreon. I'm talking a little bit about it over there. This has got to be exposed, the evils that are happening there. Because if you knew half the things that I know about what has happened up there in the Capitol regarding this situation, and the threats that advisors and generals are facing if they dare say anything about Hunter Biden or the president and their involvement in Ukraine. It's not good, friends. It's just not good. I'm Stephen Ben-Nun. You're watching Israeli News Live. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your support of this broadcast, IsraeliNewsLive.org. And I will continue to be updating Patreon. I have got a tremendous amount of information I want to share with you guys over there. And I'm going back now through my notes and stuff, so I will be sharing more things over there on our broadcast there as well. So thank you, and thank you for your support of Patreon too, because we nearly got completely shut down on Patreon because of certain things that you're not to say. Can't say it on YouTube, can't say it on Patreon. The only difference is Patreon at least will work with you to try to resolve the issues there. And I did not realize I'd even let anything slip through the cracks. I did take down some videos, though I had to, unfortunately. But I will be updating over on brand new Tube as soon as I get a chance. I'll be putting those there, so you'll have that access to them. And the one where I did the conference at, where I spoke about DNA, can't say anything other than that. I'll probably take it. Will be there on Patreon. I'll move it over there, but I actually need to go into that deeper. That's another one that is in the request that's been made for me in ancient document research. I'm still researching that subject there. So hopefully I can come back to that and share with you the very disturbing information about that. That's very disturbing. So anyway, and I think that's what actually got me flagged over on Patreon to begin with. So iConnectFX.com. Listen, please subscribe there. I know a lot of people, I don't know. There's a lot of people that have subscribed, but really subscribe. It's worth it. Multiple languages. In fact, let me just share with that to you real quick here. You normally have to use your Safari search engine to be able to pull it up. For some reason, it's hard to get it to pull up in Google. But these guys are amazing at what they're doing there. Right? So we're going to just sign in here. It's got a lot of safeguards in this plan here. And in fact, they just had over 1 million new subscribers joined iConnect because the owner of this has a very deep network with different states and things like that, and they're joining this. A lot of these people join it because of the webinar, and I'll just kind of share that with you real quick here. This webinar that they have on here is one of the most secure webinars in the world. Now, I can't tell you why, I just tell you it is the securest webinar in the world. Just like if you were to have Skype, whatever, it's very easy to use. If you want to host a webinar or something like that, you just click on it there. You set up what the meeting's about. You can do a password, not a password, whatever, submit it. And then when you submit it, you can just send a link to whoever you want to send it to that's going to be a part of it. And I think they have to be on iConnect to do it. Then you can have a video conference Ain't nobody going to know what you're saying. Nobody. All right. The other nice thing about their webinar too is that they, at my request, there, and I don't know if it's been built into it as of yet, but I believe it has, because you can record it. You can interview people, and you can change their voice sound. And I'm talking about military grade technology. You can blur out their image so you don't see the person, but yet you can still tell there's a person there. So if you're really wanting to interview someone that's afraid to be on, incredible way to do it. The videos, all right, we'll click on videos there. And I've never done this part before, so please be patient with me there. If you go to your video manager, the nice thing about this is the languages. Now, we have incredible help on this and doing this, and I can't click on any of this stuff because, you know, you get flagged for everything you do. We don't translate every video, but ones that are important, we do. And we're available in 13 different languages is the way we're set up on ours. I know you have to pay for your languages to be able to do that, but it's not that expensive to do. And to me, it's worth it if you're really wanting to reach people in all different parts of the world. And of course, the other nice thing is too, you can click on there. When you click on the video to play it, it'll show you how many views you've got already. But I like the part, and I know YouTube does this as well, where you can break it down and go see how many people in which country. 55 people in Russia viewed that video, for example. Then we had 22,000 viewed it in the United States. Now, by the way, that's organic views. That is not from YouTube, although people from YouTube come and watch, but that's when people come right into there because they don't give me the videos that, in other words, I don't get to see on my end. I don't get to see the video, the people that just watch YouTube. I never get to see that. You have to come to this channel to watch the video for that to be viewed on there. So that's kind of interesting. So 1,500 in Canada, 105 in Brazil. Every country can be broke down. So you can see demographically where you're being watched at. And this is just iConnect. 728 there. India, 78. 12 in Pakistan. 2 in Iran. Saudi Arabia, 6 people viewing there. Iraq, 2 people. Turkey, we got 7 people there. And it just, you know, as you just jump around there, you get to see everything. And it depends on, too, what you're watching. Norway, 108. Wow, what happened to one of the countries there? They just disappeared. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I was looking in the wrong place there. Sweden, 139. And just right across the board there. So I kind of like a lot of the things about the platform. And I know in the beginning there were some issues that people had that bothered them. But every time you have an issue, they monitor my comments as well. And any changes you want to do, you know, they're always trying to update the system to make it work better. So, and they're fixing to come out with a thing too, to where you can have a storefront as well on this, like it says shopping. I haven't done that personally, but I know that it is, and maybe it's already, yeah, it's already there. I didn't know it was even there already. But they are going to have it to where you can actually, there's stores that you'll be able to click onto. Maybe they haven't done it as of yet. But I do need to do it, especially because of the fact of the EMP shield. That's really the only thing that we promote ourselves is the EMP shield. And maybe maybe that would be a good idea because there's, I don't know about you guys, but we've been having over 50-mile-an-hour winds up here where I live at. So, and I don't know if EMP's got a sale going on. I'll just look to see. You know, I always like to share that with you guys if they're having a sale to encourage you to get an EMP shield. Because not just for electromagnetic pulse protection, but lightning strikes, things like that, your car, your home, whatever it may be, you want to do it. But just as a reminder, if, for example, if you were to buy some type of shield there, you can just click on that, add it to your cart, and it helps support the work we're doing here. So you go to the coupon code, you add INL50, apply that coupon code, and they're going to give you an additional $50 off. Doesn't appear to be any sales going on right now. But anyway, $339 instead of paying nearly $400 for the item. So, because they had some kind of thing on there. So anyway, then you check out and you do all your little detail there, and then they give you that discount. And that's for every item you were to buy. I mean, and they have it for all kinds of things: house, car, vehicle, RV, generator, solar wind protection, radio protection. That was a neat one too, I thought too, because I know a lot of people have ham radios and things like that. And supposedly these work for that particular type of device. So anyway, I know they're not cheap. I always look at it as insurance. To me, the most important one is for your car, because if you get broke down, something were to happen. And there is, by the way, and I will say this, and I don't say this just to sell anything, because I like being honest with people. I only promote something that I really believe in. In fact, once we do our store, I want to add liposomal vitamin C to our store, things like that. Things that I believe that will help people. But in this case here, there is been a threat of EMP strikes happening on this nation. And I do know if we do end up in a war with China, something like that, that's going to be a real threat. That's not going to be a joke at all, friends. So I do want to let you know that that is a real, that has come up again. I haven't really spoke about it much, but when we look at those things there, that's where, in my opinion, the one for your vehicle is what matters the most. Your house too, because you got all these appliances in your house. And granted, you do not want to have something cause everything just to blow out in your house. Next thing you know, you have no stove, you have no refrigerator, and especially if you're a prepper and you've been prepping and you need these things to be protected, it does matter. So anyway, God bless you. We love you guys, and thank you for listening. Thank you for your support. IsraeliNewsLive.org. And listen to it. Anything I load on iConnect always airs on our website too. So let's say you want to just be able to go check our website out, IsraeliNewsLive.org. If it's on iConnect, it's here on the website as well. So thank you, and God bless you. Bookstore. What's in our bookstore? I don't even know. Deanne Loper's book. She's actually, I think, writing a new book, if I'm not speaking. And, of course, the book that I wrote, Stephen Ben-Nun. I never even look at the sales of the book. I have no idea. I may have royalties. I'm sure I do, but I just never use them. I never even ask about it. Normally, if I have it, I always ask them, just send me some books or something. But I probably need to do a second edition of that one there. And more importantly, I probably should just do a whole new book anyway. I think this first book I wrote, Israel, Are They Still God's People? That one, still too much Zionist side of me there. I would really like to rewrite that book as well. Maybe just do a new book altogether. I keep saying it and I haven't done it. If you ever were to get Yom Suf, though, the big thing, this book I still would encourage, because this book right here, I go into the redemption of Israel in there, and I really believe strongly that what God laid on my heart about the redemption of Israel is very true in this book. I write under the name Ben-Nun. It's a pen name that I use there. So if you ever want to order that, check it out. Check it out. God bless you. Thank you for listening. I'm Stephen Ben-Nun with Israeli News Live.